Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. If you need any help with anything, we've got a deal going on still. The turkey's still going on. You better jump on it if you're going to get on it. Not too much longer to go. If you want to join the website, finding-value.com. We have a 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time question and answer session coming up Sunday. If you've got questions, go ahead, reach out to me on Sunday. And if you can't meet it, send me the question if you can't meet it. And then I'll go over the question and read it to everyone. There are some portfolio allocation questions and some of the individual companies of what looks good right now and how I would weight something. Okay, we can go over that. So let's dive in here. I'll give you my financial opinions and see what we got going on today. So the dollar, we had a strong bounce yesterday, and we have a slightly lower day today, down 0.3%. And are we going to get a bottom here and try to turn higher? Kind of looks like that to me. We've got the big down candlestick here. That's kind of the push out of that channel. The channel, what I'm talking about is this channel there. That's the breakout there. We can kind of run this across, and we've come on down from a pretty oversold level, and we got to punch back through that if it wants to go higher, or we're going to hit our head and roll back over and be stuck between a not a super strong resistance line, but we've got a really strong support line right underneath us. That's that big white line going all the way across. So we could get stuck and kind of bounce around back and forth between support and resistance for a little while. Looking at yields, the 2-year yield is dropping as expected. We broke out of this pattern here, retest, into kind of like a squeeze there, broke out of that, squeezed again, broke out of that, and we are running. We are running. So the path of least resistance in the short term here is lower. And that is still intact. Now, bigger picture view, we can fall quite a long ways. Does that mean there's a slowdown in the system? Could be. It could be. Generally, the 2-year yield drops like a rock if there is a slowdown in the system. Now, we're not seeing that in some of the other commodities, like copper and some of these other ones. So it's going to be a difficult read here. That's what I'll say. But right now, downside, more downside is left in this. More downside is left. I don't see any reversal candlesticks. It looks pretty strong. The red army has shown up in that circle there. It means business here. The 10-year yield is also selling off. And we had a pretty strong sell-off pressure day today, 2.85% lower. It looks like we could continue lower. And then the 30-year also down, but we're back against that support level. Let's see what it does here. TYX TNX ratio, it is moving on up. That is a tailwind behind precious metals. Again, we are at a very low area. This is very good for precious metals. If we move higher, it is going to be hurricane force winds behind our back as we run. We don't even need to run. The hurricane's just going to push us downstream anyway. So that market condition could be coming here if the yield curve uninverts between the 30-year and the 10-year, which means the 10-year falls faster than the 30-year is basically what we're looking for, which it did a little bit today. Bond prices up a little bit, but we're coming up against that resistance area. Are we going to punch through? It sure looks like we're going to try. This is a bullish engulfing. It's lined up to punch through that resistance line that we have across this guy here. So we're going to try to punch through it and see if we can punch through it here. That's what's next. Gold ripping it quite a bit here, $34 an ounce higher. We're at $20.90 as a closing today. Very strong move up. This is a breakout, and we are moving the upside. It's looking fantastic. And again, we have a flag pattern. We can measure the move of this, and I'll just throw it up just to see where it kind of lands. I have not done this really before. 2,800 is what I'm getting. I'm guessing we're probably going to go somewhere around $2,800, $3,000 an ounce, somewhere in that range. And the gold and silver mining companies, we'll see what those look like on the XAU to gold ratio chart here. Very interested to see what that looks like. Silver up 0.9%. We're at 25.89. We cleared 26-ish dollars. I think this is going to be pretty good here. Why 26 bucks? Well, we can kind of look through here, and I'm just going to draw a trend line, guys. That's all it's going to take. We have a lot of resistance support that comes all the way across here. See how we used it back here and see how we hit our head on it a bunch here? That is that resistance support level. If we can punch through that, I think we're going to get a lot. This is going to be a big, 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 big move. It's going to make a lot of people happy that are in silver. I'll put it that way. Platinum still working our way up, about $5 today. Still looks good to go higher. And palladium up about $4. Palladium still putting in its bottoming process. Just be patient here. We'll get our way to move on up, I think, in all these metals eventually. XAU to gold ratio, we're up a little bit, up 0.3% today. We're trying to punch through resistance. That may slow us down a little bit in the short term to punch through it, which we're doing. And then we're going to go after the big boy. What is the big boy? The big boy line is this line here. We punch through that. That's the line for happiness, guys. That's where all those years that you've been sitting in these stupid stocks, going up and down with volatility, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off big. It's going to pay off so much that it's like basically a once in a lifetime opportunity in some of these sectors. This here is that opportunity. Is gold breaking and making new all-time highs? Yes. Silver, did it break its big downtrend line? Yes. What makes you think that gold and silver mining companies are not going to break this downtrend line? I'm already locked and loaded, boys. I've been buying my shares all through here. I don't care. I'm in this for the long term. And gold and silver is one of my hedges. It's one of my main staples in my portfolio, along with other commodities and some other sectors. This is so cheap. It's so stupid cheap. You should be looking at it. And that's how I'm going to help you, even if you're not a subscriber. You're looking at it. TRB index is down today. We're back within the pattern. We didn't break out yet. It's okay. Patience. Just patience, boys. Patience. There we go. TRB to S&P 500. We're pulled back again here too. Patience. Patience is what's required. We'll work our way up eventually. Don't worry. Maybe we got a bigger return move on this trend line here that we're going to go and retest. Potentially. GDX up 1.56%. Looking good. Looking solid. We're up on GDXJ. And we've got a breakout here of this trend line. Take notes. Take note. This is a big, big deal as this thing breaks. And we've got a long runway ahead of us. You saw that TYX TNX ratio that I talked about and where gold is a good time to generally buy. This is a good general location to be looking at GDXJ and GDX and SILJ. Here's SILJ up about 3%. And what is it doing? Starting to break through. Starting to break through. Buy and hold is what I would do, guys. Oh, yeah. I wonder who said that. That's weird. Crude oil down 2.25%. What is happening to crude oil? You know, the moves that these things have had, this is on the daily. Look at this move. I mean, yeah, we kind of came up into this corner here and then jetted out of it. But this is so like on steroids, these moves and how fast they occur. But big picture view, guys. Take a big picture view. Here's your consolidation zone. This is your breakout. Your retest. We're just sitting on top of a retest. You know how you make money? Don't panic. You buy and retest moves. Even in here, those are your return moves. That is your opportunity. Don't F it up. Okay? This is a long-term play. And when this thing goes, it's going to go. It's going to follow gold higher eventually. Gold may rip it first, which I think it will, and then crude oil will follow. TTF gas up 4.3%. We're still above that support level. We hit support. Now we're bouncing to the upside. Looking okay. Nat gas for Henry Hub's down 1%, still on support. It's our big support level. All these people traded here. They're going to provide support underneath this. They have purchased shares there, and they're going to say, oh, look, natural gas is back to where I bought it. I'm going to buy some more. There's your psychological reasoning of why. XOP, yeah, you know me, up 0.8%. So we saw all these people dive into XOP. They know oil's a good value, just like I do. We know that we're kind of doing a double bottom here. We get it. We get it. We know we've got an inverted head and shoulders. That's just massive. We know we're about to break it. We see gold moving higher. We know oil's going to follow. It's just a matter of time. So how did XOP go up 0.8% and crude oil go down 2.21%? Because people are positioning. This generally occurs before the crude oil price goes higher. That's what you're seeing here, in my opinion. OIH, also positioning. And falling wedge, breakout, bullish engulfing. We're going to go higher soon. Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Probably. I mean, I don't know with any sort of certainty the exact timing of this, but my guess, sideways to higher. That's where we're going. Crop Physical Uranium Trust moving up a little bit. Got a little bit of resistance here. Why we've got all these small candlesticks just going sideways. Either buyers are tired or there's some selling pressure up there, or a combination of those two things. We came on back, rested a little bit, and we're trying to make new all-time. I think this is all-time highs. Is it all-time highs? Let's look. Oh, no, we're not all-time highs yet. We're getting close. We're getting close. URA, down 0.07%. Still looks good. It's a bloody nose. Continuation pattern to the upside. Sellers are getting tired. Let's wear those sellers out. URNM, small bloody nose. Higher. URNJ, higher. They're just little bloody noses. They're little profit-taking days. TAN's loving the weaker dollar, weaker yields. And what do we got? Big bullish engulfing, growing higher. Higher in TAN. So how did this work? First, you break the downtrend line. Bam. Then you pull back a little bit. You get a break. You get a little bit of a pullback. Sometimes these pullbacks come all the way down. You get a bullish engulfing here. That's your buy signal. Boom, higher. The OPX. What do we got here? Downtrend line. Broken. Came back up to resistance. We paused at that resistance. Put in a bullish engulfing here. You're going to go higher. Here we are going higher. Looks good. Looks good. This can also be, considered, you can draw it like this, like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. There's all these things that you can do. It's really just resistance and support and breaking through those resistance support levels. That's really what it is. Lithium, putting in a bullish engulfing today. What do you think I would do? Not a recommendation, but this is CHEAP, cheap. Cheap down here. Got bottom support. Got a bullish engulfing. You got another trend line break. Come on, guys. Put the ball up on the tee. Just swing, boys, swing. Rare earth metals, what do we got? What do we got? Downtrend line break. Bam. Bullish engulfing. We're going higher. Going higher. Support underneath us. That is my opinion. S&P 500 moving on higher. Just a continuation up, and NASDAQ bullish engulfing. Bullish engulfings don't mean as much when you're way up, kind of up here. they're really good at reversal points like here, where you're going to say, oh, we're going to reverse higher. They're not as powerful as you go way up here, but we have a bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to go higher. We are underneath this trend line channel that we do get some resistance from. So keep that in mind, and we could come up and turn. Keep that in mind. There's some overhead resistance. KRE, higher. Like I said, big bullish engulfing, stair-step pattern. Looks fantastic. Higher, higher, higher. Emerging markets, bullish engulfing, higher. Liquidity coming back into the system. This is a good spot to be looking for emerging markets. Just throwing it out there. You guys can take it for whatever you want. XHB, higher. Told you about the stair-step. Stair-step, we're moving. Broken down trend line, stair-step and higher, looking fantastic. Lower yields. Jesse Livermore accumulation cylinder. We're going to the moon, guys, in home builders. Going to the moon. Same with financials. We're going to the moon. This is where the loans are going to come from. KRE. This is who's going to get all the loans, the home builders. I'll let you know. That credit creation is going to send oil upwards. It's going to send gold upwards. Gold first, oil second. Moo. Moo's trying to find a bottom here. It's looking good. Bullish engulfing, going to go higher. Bullish engulfing, broken down trends. There we go. Looking good. Copper moving on up, probably because Panama closed the copper mine, Cobra, whatever it's called. Why they did that, but going higher. Looks good. Here we go, copper. Iron ore, up a little bit. It's going to go higher, guys. It's going to continue to go higher. Much, much higher. Here we go. Steel companies, iron ore companies, they're going to look really good. Of course they look good. You got a Livermore accumulation cylinder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to the promised land. And this is not where I think this will stop. I think it's going to go way up. Liquidity's coming. Aluminum. This is also a Livermore accumulation cylinder, just to let you guys know. We are right on support for aluminum. It's going to look good. We're going to break out of this at some point. Baltic Dry Index, ripping it. Jesus, look at this thing. Like we didn't know this was coming. Been calling it the whole time. Falling wedge, false breakout. This is creating a slingshot to the upside. Slingshot is engaged. Slingshot cheetah. We slingshot here. We paused for a little bit as it rested, and now we're slinging again. Think of this as wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Something, it's going to look something like that. They look kind of funky when they do these things. You know, you get these waves. Newcastle Cola, 0.8%. This is a great spot to be looking. Very good spot to be looking down here for coal. Very good price, and we're sitting on top of a base. Here's your base. Here's your breakout. This is your retest. Good spot to be looking. Bitcoin, ripping to the upside. We must be getting liquidity into the system. It's breaking its pattern here. It's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. Same with Ethereum. It's going to go higher, guys. We're sitting above support. There's your support level. It's a big support level. Took a lot to get up here. It's resting before a big move. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. We subscribe to the website if you do. You can use that turkey code still. It's still open. Still good for business. A lot of really good big moves today. It looks like to me that liquidity could be coming back into the system. And markets are moving on up. I can't really see any sector that looks horrible. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ do have some trend lines above it, some resistance lines that they're going to have to try to break through. And maybe they hit their head on it and roll over. Difficult to say. But from a commodity standpoint, where I'm interested, iron ore looks good. Copper looks good. Aluminum looks like it's basing out. Coal's basing out. Oil is going to take a little bit of time basing out. It's basing. Just give it some time. Gold's ripping it. That's our leader. Gold's ripping it. Silver's ripping it. Platinum's going to rip it probably next here at any second. The home builders look strong. They're just ripping. The financial sector looks good and ready to go higher. So Baltic Dry Index, ripping it. A lot of the stuff we're in, moonshine. It's good. So everything looks good. Hopefully it continues the momentum. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not the genie in the bottle or anything, but let's hope the all momentum continues. All I'll say. And if you guys decide to show up on Sunday, go ahead and let the questions rip. We can dive into companies, individual companies. I did make some recent purchases. If you're a member, you can see it on the website what I purchased, and I did make a little bit larger purchase on one of them to get exposure to it. That's what I'll say. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Hopefully, you're all having a good day. Catch you next time. This is Finding Value.